nuclear, how much of future energy demand will be met from nuclear power. But it happened after these IEA scenarios came out. You know, if they would redo them today, I'm sure it would look different. You know, they would change the energy mix for those various scenarios. So, yeah, that's a common risk. So that's why what we usually try is, you know, at least a range of feasible scenarios. But there's lots of other feasible and actual scenarios and realities out there that we can never model. So this is just, you know, it's the problem of scenario analysis.
Well, let me reflect a bit on the discussion and your most interesting presentation. Certainly, global scenario analysis cannot answer local questions. But global water policy and water-related economic strategies also have a place in development. As many players are preparing for Rio +20 next year, and in Bonn, a water conference on the nexus of water, energy, and food. These scenarios, I'm sure, will fruitfully impact on the debate. The biggest impact you probably had today with your presentation, Claudia, is to identify a number of open research questions in this audience, which is curious about water, but doesn't have the answers either. At least not at a global scale. At a global scale, the models framework which you have is the most comprehensive one. So I think it was good that you openly showed deficiencies. We can intellectually speak nicely about open questions, but to transform them into a global modeling scenario that connects river basin models, as this does, with global agriculture, industry, and household use, and endogenizes growth across sectors, preferably energy, transport, and so on. Well, it doesn't yet exist. So that's why scenario building is happening in parallel, and the art of scenario building needs to be a test for coherence. The other area where I feel room for more work is the very question. GDP, what the heck? The Sarkozy, etc. commission, which came up with very good, Amartya Sen, etc., proposals to move beyond GDP, argues we have to move from the production accounting of welfare to the consumption and demand side. And otherwise we don't capture well-being. And we need to factor in, as much as we can, external effects. That's where the Sarkozy, Sen, etc. commission said, well, we don't know, do both. So I think the next generation of this type of work needs to be a lot more explicit on what economics needs. It doesn't just mean GDP. And my conclusion would be the business sector probably got the clear message which they ought to get, which means invest in water, use efficiency and water productivity. Whether we can do that message more sophisticated in the future, fine, we probably can. But I think the study, as presented, probably has done a lot of good, because water, as so many public goods, is underinvested in, and this, the opportunity cost foregone, the potential growth effects, will trigger private investment, and that, after all, is the largest problem. with these remarks, thank you again. It's wonderful that you came. What did I say last time? You were much better than before. I say that again.
I believe it.